I would be back giving a kill.
Because it gets into not only the military side, but it's the
Oh my gosh. Oh dear.
humans don't know.
You need some tickets? Are you selling? Yeah. Oh, see? I sold mine.
Two sets.
The same medicine.
Hi there.
I told them not to. They did it.
I was listening to
So, means I'll probably have to.
You didn't negotiate. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did.
Come back here.
That's good. I think I said Wi-Fi, not too much.
Oh, it's not nice. I was trying to think the last one you know.
Luckily, the museum is not very far.
One more.
I don't have to do the meet at the end of
Huh?
This is the Joker draw, right?
No. He needs another set. He's got $6. No, I didn't. Yeah. You've got too much.
You could buy 3 sets. Give one to me.
Yeah, you got 3 sets. You want 3 sets. You have to take that back. Take that. Okay, now give him another set. Now you can go over and do your joke. I didn't even pay look at this money. I just see what he dropped down.
I find it
Okay.
Over
You
there.
got your money, okay. Two of them.
So it looked like you were shipping out beans or corn or something here last week.
Yeah, and beans.
Yeah, I can do that.
Few loads, 3 loads. Well, I'm losing more, but it's hard to get the trucks.
Thank you.
3 loads. So Hemlock had that big fire. Did you hear about that? Yeah. In fact, Mason sent a tanker up there, just outside that Saginaw.
Really?
So we drove by it Sunday and that is just pretty cool. It's 3 million bushel. Is that what it was? Is it still smoking? Oh yeah. Is it really? Oh yeah. They're gonna lose the whole works?
It smelled good and all that.
Oh yeah. It smells like With the sidewalls on it must have been 15 or 20 feet high. Yeah, and of course it had a roof over it before the fire. It's the length of this building around just about. Isn't it, or big, or bigger even. But I don't know how many bushel it was down by this year. Yeah, we got this year, there's some pretty good. You got Elmer Dagman. There's some pretty good. They kind of do it there.
So is that what they're doing at Appalachian Trail?
No. Well, I don't know, there's not an old plant. They're by Carroll.
Yeah.
Carroll.
Hey, Terry. Good.
It's probably, they probably would store it and then they ship it out later. It's gonna kind of.
Came to me.
There's one there and.
It looked official.
Oh, there. There's 2 up there and it's only 2 down.
And that's what's at Blissfield right
Albion has that, no plan. Well, Blissfield does too, yeah, right, Blissfield.
We already got one, that's all right.
I think that's, I think there's just 4. Well, you don't know how much I'll burn it We're not consolidating here, it's separated. We're not consolidating, it's separated for some reason. So is everybody else?
Commingle the money.
now. Right, well, there's that, they don't want to talk to each other.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Not that I give anybody preference. I did myself, so I
Couple weeks, I was gonna say, I saw it in the farm, Michigan farm, they got 3 million bushels of corn.
Our job,
So what good did it do them though? It's still smoking. It started in 15
to do the dance.
somewhat. go inside. All those winds and stuff that we had, in between there, keep it going, smoother around. Just like when we had wrestling.
I'm just gonna sign in for those.
Hey, Heather.
How you doing?
Well,
What do you got going on here?
sweepstakes tickets.
Yeah, that's.
You can buy them or sell them,
geez.
one or the other. And you can, I think we got packs of 5 or 10. They're $10 a piece, so.
Oh, buddy. I got a 10 on me. Can you believe that?
Then in that case, I will go ahead and pull this one out, 'cause this is a weird one. I'll take this one. And I'll sell you one. How's
Okay.
that?
Let's do that. Oh, it's like a pan.
Come on, Doug. You just fill that out, and I got your money already, so. This is 09986, 09986.
So I might have a partner program situation coming up in the next year. We want to create this Michigan Tales history series. You want me to throw that at you, Charlie, or both of you? I don't have any information yet.
Well, when you get it to me, and I'll get it to Charlie.
Okay. I don't want to overwhelm them as these,
Yeah, he calls me every other day now. So.
Kind of, yep, I totally, do you need part of this? Or?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so you need this.
It says,
I don't know what's in it.
no, it says I need the stub. See, let's see. Ticket number, return this stub only. Well, which one did you?
See, that confused
Yeah, I
me.
gotta get around it.
Well, obviously, I gotta keep it. Oh, that's strange.
Yeah, I didn't. I wonder if I still have that.
Well, I'm gonna give you this top part, and if that's not right, I'll let you know. But
Okay, I'll hang on to it.
looks like they're pretty. Oh, that's the actual drawing. Yeah, I think that's a good one. I'll have to see what the deal is.
Yeah.
I should have been paying more attention.
Okay, great. I'm gone in February. Hi, go to Florida. Can I put you down for the 24th?
Pennsylvania, that's a long ways away.
I know, everything's amazing.
So I'm gone from the 23rd.
It'll be saying it's a 1-to-1.
Oh, 20. February.
How are you? Want Doritos?
Don't think me.
Anybody in the city? Okay, I had a point where you don't go.
So you found a place in Florida, or you've been to Oh, you're taking it, okay.
And we have 2 campsites, one south of Fort Myers that week, and another one on the east of Lake.
Oh, okay.
And we figured it would take 3 days or 4 days to get down there and that much time to come back. Thank you. We have Texas Hold'em.
You get the class here, and you can plane, you can screw up again today, the whole country, everything's all messed up. You can't trust, I mean, it used to be you could buy them, no.
Yes, that's really good combination.
Well,
I have seen it, no combination available, well, they have to hire a rough over, but it is possible.
you could buy those extra tickets, all those. Otherwise, they've been sitting there and they have all screwed up. I thought it was close to 6 o'clock.
Everybody else.
I guess it's 2 minutes soon.
What's the 8th?
Oh, it's cool. Yeah. So you get some down, you can read.
$2,000 gets the server working. It's funny that I had to
Okay.
Or any ever done that before. But it comes from the person.
Oh, all right, yeah.
That's gonna be a short night.
So when it
It's
gets
a
to
sign up
the
sheet.
sign
It's a sign up sheet. I look at the sales. In the last 2 minutes, I've never seen
But I
it
was
say-
trying not to tell, yeah, sure, but the other side. You should sign it back. You should sign it back.
You got
Oh,
to
this
sign
is-
it.
wait
No,
a minute.
over here. Over here.
Oh, I was gonna say, that doesn't look right.
Yeah,
That's not so bad.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
I just looked at shift I signed up for, there's a downside, several
Going to
downsides.
Ithaca.
There's one special, that's daylight savings time shift.
Or
Bring back, yeah. You lose an hour.
Got usually got the best deal.
Okay, now I gotta put that on there. Oh, yeah, first one.
Tuesday doesn't come, you go back up and
Well, see, you should give one of our talks, and he's got all these things, save us up. A couple of years ago, maybe, or?
Seems like Jenny needs somebody more to talk to.
Oh, excellent. Looks like everybody's ready to get started anyway. Got all your assigned positions or plot down wherever it's comfortable. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll start out with the Pledge of Allegiance. Can you find it here?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And our club prayer, which is on the flag back there, and it's also on your agenda. Please stand.
Stand to offer thanks and praise to the giver of all goods, and may he fill our hearts with the spirit of brotherhood. Amen.
Okay, we have a couple of visitors. Everybody go ahead and sit down. So Cindy and Lynn, if you will introduce our guests, or you want me to?
Yeah, well, our guests are Linda and Joe Pulver. They're gonna be speaking tonight. They hiked the Appalachian Trail this past summer, and talk and show pictures about that. Also a little bit extra, they're ultra marathoners also. So, anybody who aspires,
All right. So next on the agenda is dinner. So let's start with this table here, and then we'll just go around the room this way. But you know what? It's a small enough crowd that if you sneaked in ahead, we don't care. Go ahead. Don't know what to tell you. My mommy told me not to put myself first.
That used to be the tradition.
Oh, because they never taught to finish their meeting. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Short term means.
I abandoned the first table.
Certain things too.
Where?
Yeah. But there's something that kind of bothers them, that's what comes up all the time.
The boss again.
I'm a good eavesdropper, I got together.
That's great.
3 or 4 times.
We can go on that. Yeah, I saw that on Facebook, I think it was.
When you gotta dig in, let me know from the line.
Hi, Jamie.
Over your hair.
Wonderful.
You guys are gonna go hungry.
How many times do you think I ever went home?
Oh, Dave's favorite, right?
Could be. That's why I wanted to get in ahead of sales.
Well,
Or
it's
volunteer
just
in a chamber event, or a Kiwanis event, or Rotary.
She said, you have to. I don't know, you can't do
And it's down here every day too. He'll be down here before it closes up.
There you go.
I was there today for about an hour. A lot of times I just in the office doing which is good, I don't get.
Here, I got it all set for you.
I don't run out on the floor unless it's late at night, and then I'm out there working on the floor.
One time for, anytime or you always.
Yeah.
Well, she came over for
It's like you need to experience it, like, well,
Then we went to see my sister
Here
at
with,
Christmas.
Del Monte.
She's in North Carolina. That was nice. Did you see your kids?
Yeah, Tori flew home, she lived in close enough, but Tori flew home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Austria.
He never wore
That
one.
would be nice. Yeah,
She
she
could
was
be
there.
20 degrees below zero and the wind blowing, he'd be out and he'd get a t-shirt on.
New York City for about 2 weeks in December, she sings. Churches that hire.
That's what I remember about Bill Wilkins.
You got anything you want?
I saw his wife
Back
on
to work.
Del Monte.
Her on Monday for.
I'll get it.
What do you want?
I got it. I'll get it on mom.
oh, you need to.
And then she sings.
You gonna get something?
You want, there's ice tea and water. You want one?
All been sick since, the pandemic's all remote. Should be able to. I got you. I gotta teach Steve in China.
I'll have something.
Germany, no, I mean, she moved out of her apartment in New Jersey. She was a princess in New Jersey for a lot of years. Last years ago, I said, Jack, I'll show you what her apartment. Well, and then we just kind of lit up. All right. Roaming around to different places all summer, and went back to Europe, September.
Want to make sure it wasn't pork right before I dumped it all on there.
Maybe I'll just, that's what I wanna go.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, I do too.
Australia was that recently.
This was,
Went to Vegas, and it was time to get all the big buffets,
Yeah.
big around.
Red.
Well, I figured since it was, strange weather we've been having.
This one's always a good Well, you would like that one.
Yeah, it could.
I'm not sure if it was more about that.
Stuff going on. Of course, we did get out New Year's Day. We're hiking this morning
People from all over the state.
out at Rose Lake.
Reunion of sorts.
Puttering around,
I don't know why, but.
making another paddle just because.
That would be cool.
Because this morning at 6:30 in the morning, so if I'm there at that meeting, I really don't feel like catering this
a while, following a different set of instructions.
They used to be at the Masonic Temple. Yeah, a long time, but during COVID.
You said you can't teach no dog.
They decided that they couldn't model there, they weren't ready for them to come back. Face-to-face meeting.
Not very many. I'm a regular because I've been on this committee since, so, 24 years before that even. Doug's board,
So
is,
we
of course.
It's
General
coming.
Stand in the Catholic one.
Oh, that's right.
You can't get really, really
The other
good ones.
day, he's out of ICU now, and the other day, she said
Laminated
numbers were
around.
getting a little bit better, but he still had some confusion because of the
Some
infection.
pieces that I can get a little bit better out of.
So, a long way to go. They rushed him out of the Medi Lodge where he was staying. He had gotten an infection, and he had some coughing that turned into pneumonia.
Because I suppose I shouldn't be too concerned about it, because
Jenny went in there, and his blood pressure was like 77.
Innovative developed these paddles, made them out of whatever driftwood
Had him taken to the hospital.
had come down to the Arctic Ocean and then drifted around to Greenland.
There were a number of things that were just not right. Didn't sound like big issues.
Might not have had that many choices to say exactly what sounds good. The forest.
We were with us,
Yeah,
we got on a caravan, so it was organized, the caravan total was 5,200.
I don't either. It had mixed ratings when I looked it up afterwards.
We could just do half, so we only did half.
We're not allowed to do that. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, actually, I think it's more back to the plan, Right.
better thing of it is I've never done it.
Yeah. It's on Marsh Road. Yeah. I think that's where my wish was. Yeah, there's one on Dover. Yeah, the one on Dover.
Well, my Google Fit, it was a part of my trip in the first time.
Oh, really?
Working on it.
Dad's take half, anytime else, half.
Took an hour and a half off. Great. And, somebody probably sent me a line system in the morning.
And
To
actually,
go over the internet stuff. I call tomorrow, I get the phone people out, to get that switched over from landline to internet. AT&T decided that they would just start charging us $200 a month to go to that landline.
and there were things that were shut
So
down.
I said, well, you'll charge us if we don't have a landline. He said, oh, $50 a month. I said, oh, $50 bucks. We're already paying for internet. And, but we had to get the alarm system switched over. That took a few months.
You said you had a race over there.
Because by the time we got it organized, we got contracts, that's why it was the board. They had a board approve it, which was what they're trying to get together.
But the one that
They put, kept
yeah,
putting us
the
off.
old posters for the vehicles.
And
There
then,
was one over there
I got
since
bills with
2006.
me. Oh,
That's why I was looking at this one, trying to see what the date is, don't have a year on it.
Do stuff, and I'd be-
Didn't even realize that they changed it to now.
Yeah, we didn't have a bank. Our grandkids.
How is she
There
doing?
had to be something there where it was $5 tickets.
Yeah.
They don't think we got it. One dollar.
Oh, you're there, well, you gotta see it.
Kind of like a deja vu thing.
Before you eat, you go back to work.
Oh.
Well, now kind of know what all those things you've been talking about, but they actually look like. She'd tell me about what she was planting in the garden.
Yep.
I wouldn't know it. Well, I know a Pulvers, but not really a foreign.
Nasturtium from the marigold.
Yeah, probably.
How big is that? 6 foot or? Ready for bid.
I know it comes flower, yeah.
Sure, not red.
So they put a bed over the top of the wood and then.
Echinacea.
Coreopsis.
Yeah, and I know that from impatiens. Actually planted a lot of impatiens at LCC.
It sounds a little bigger than I am a little bit.
Stay healthy that way.
Had the sports there.
No, we've got a couple overnight backpackers.
Flower bed.
That would be like.
That was enough.
One year I finally said, well, I'm just gonna go out and get
And I'm gonna it's a tiny one on wheels, basically. Much nicer than camping.
That was the only year I did it.
You never wore the tiny one from a bathroom. Oh, yeah?
I was up at the MSU Pavilion this afternoon.
What are your kids doing now?
Quite adventure, supposed he was gonna go back to in person. The boards all changed. They'd had for a while company
No?
doing some of the organization. That was bust.
An English bulldog, they look like pigs.
There's some question whether you pick back up again, but it looks like it is.
That's a bulldog, it's the
So I've
same.
got a bunch of historical information on it. Goes around, I give a lot of registration, layout, and all kinds of other stuff that I've done for a long time. It is. Yep. Need to know how it was done, but that doesn't mean that's how it needs to be done in the future.
Not the one that we like. That's Andrew. Charles is the house.
New
Next
people
to that,
involved.
some people. So it's,
Good thing.
yes.
Looks like they're finally getting more of the bicycle route in. It's always been kind of like, well, it started out as quite a walk. Because that's where it came from. New trippers, the other one, kind of expanding from that. The bike clubs are all water, we go ride bicycles. Really? Now it's non-motorized outdoor recreation. Well, they changed the name
Oh, I'm sure we can do it.
maybe 5 years. It was 2020, the first time it officially changed, I think it was. And it was actually live a week before, a week and a half before the shutdown.
Oh, okay. Had to get it in the beginning of March at least.
It was.
No, Andy was here tonight.
Well, Friday before Christmas. When we have to make
Oh, yeah.
we haven't we had the wind.
Yeah. Come January, there wasn't anything left to thaw.
We actually still have them in the basement.
Yeah.
Let's get, I don't know,
You know,
30
the
boxes of
boxes,
supplies.
30 dozen boxes. Of the carousels all filled with, yeah, three big heaps of boxes. Yeah, these carousels. I got two of them boxes. I was in the Pulvers.
Have your choice.
Yeah.
Probably the treasurer.
Every once in a while, since I'm
Yeah.
tired,
Might wonder, hey, $1 place.
reduce it from that to a disc, one slide at a time, pull it off one slide at a time. They put it in the position. Yeah.
Oh, I got a call from the Texas Garden Club last week. So I saw two of them, or all three of them last night. You coming? No. You coming? No. And the other one said yes. Okay.
You should give us a, I'm sure CDs if you wanted to.
Yeah.
I still have my, piece of furniture I bought. Not quite as big as this table was. And that's a little table with an 8-track tape player. It still works. You sit on the cooking or
She has those little candies like that.
Yeah, they are. So, what should I, what should I take? Wow. I started as a
Still have more pictures.
and then pretty quiet. I think some of it was, well, first of all, it's changing time and over there, so they couldn't do the club.
Right, they were. There's something that's either gets pinched on the leg, yeah. Luckily, they can reveal once they just like.
I'll get my sister to make up a couple plates with Jay and Becky like that. If I stop by on the way home.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Oh, all right,
I'll stop by.
Oh, yeah, over there. She said, stand up, too much outside.
Yeah, I know, I like to.
Something.
I took him a couple of weeks ago, boxing games. And before I took him a Malden with his, but I took a boxing cookies at home and I said, I'm sure these are your nurses over here, will you? Before he went to the hospital.
I know this one.
There was only a couple out there. Was that the wrong right, the dividers?
Yeah, I did think.
Jenny took them all.
I know the
I know they're trying.
I didn't realize when I took my Malden.
son was one of the icons.
And I think we're going to let you downstairs.
Okay.
Because
But I won't tell
many
you which one.
instances, I think, that when the kids have so many more people in it, so you can see that it's even smaller. Yeah. Oh, he's doing his little quiz thing. He's the tail. You could each have one.
It's pretty simple. It's fun. No.
Too many more, could have been
You got a
one
lot
or the other.
yeah.
Maybe 3 of them.
Most of them, I'm picking the one that sounds the most fun. It ought to be the answer.
Should be.
So at least when he passed these out, he didn't say they were easy tonight anyway.
I don't think I took
He
these.
told us they were easy.
He told us, yeah.
Oh, he lied to you.
He lied, yeah.
Yeah.
Every time.
It's not his first time.
Every meeting. I guess I would take it. But anyway.
And then I have to pay $1.
But I must want every dollar out.
Looks like pretty much everybody's done. It's very easy. Kind of, sort of. Anyway, how about the first one? The roller coasters.
Hey.
B is in boy.
No way.
And the roller coasters were invented to distract Americans from sin. In 1880s, hosiery businessman Lamarcus Thompson hated that Americans were tempted by hedonistic places like saloons and brothels. So he set out to straighten up one of the most immoral places he could think of, Coney Island. There, he built America's first roller coaster to let New Yorkers have some good, clean fun and keep them away from seedier pastimes.
Well, how'd that work out?
Not supposed to ask that question.
No.
We can go back to that then. How about number 2?
C.
B. C is in Charlie. Charlie? Yep.
However,
Oh, did you?
the Epperson guy was the one who got credit for the,
Oh, really?
yeah, because he was son of his grandson.
How about number 3?
B.
D, dog. C is the sloth.
Yeah, it's slow. I thought that was a trick question.
How about 4?
C.
C.
B. B is in boy.
Really?
Well, that ruined my perfect record.
Well, I've got bags of
Oh, I
apples
got a
before
perfect
they
record, but it rolled along.
It's all the chemical keeping them alive.
Yeah.
How about number 5?
C.
C, correct.
Wow.
Number 6?
B.
D. D.
Librarian.
Librarian knew that one.
D's and non-kindness.
How about number 7? B.
See?
C, correct. Number 8?
See?
C?
C.
This is my favorite, C. C? And the last one, number 9,
B.
C.
A.
B. He's a boy. They weren't so bad.
I got 5 of them, right?
Wasn't so good.
Well, you're 6, Bill.
Thank you.
I should have had this out to begin with. I knew where that should come.
That's what I thought you were.
I've heard of animals. I'll find you.
Next time it's about the government.
What, the other cats?
I'd be pretty good at that.
Oops. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, we're ready now, I think, for the part that we're all waiting for, and that is our speakers for tonight. A lot of us are outdoorsy type people. We are into paddling or hiking or hunting or fishing, all kinds of things like that, camping. So their topic tonight is going to be right on target, hiking the Appalachian Trail. I'd like to welcome Joe and Linda Pulvers, and we're looking forward to your talk. So everybody, a warm welcome, please.
You're gonna be behind us.
All right, small enough group, I think you can all hear. Can you hear me okay?
All right. Thank you, Lynn, for inviting us here to speak tonight. We love to talk about this topic, and in fact, we could talk for hours and hours on the topic on our trip. Lucky for you, tonight we've condensed our presentation into a Reader's Digest version of our trip, so that we're hoping to cover everything in about 20 minutes or less, and then if you have any questions and if time allows, then we'll open up to questions. We also want to thank you for feeding us tonight, and Jamie, what a wonderful meal that was. Nice comfort food for tonight, another meal that I don't have to fix, and that's always a bonus. Has anybody here hiked the Appalachian Trail?
Does it count if my first husband did it? And I supported him.
Do you know what year he did it?
This would have been, this is like my ex-husband, so this would have been in the 90s.
Okay.
Very, very, very early 2000s.
Okay,
Yeah, he went for the whole thing,
okay,
blew his knee out 3 months in, ended up in Virginia where he had to stop because he
Okay.
really, really hurt himself, and then ended up working for an outfitter there and going and kind of rescuing people on the trail was his job, like people got lost. So
Wow.
the outfitter would send people up, that would be my husband.
wow, great.
Yeah, but he would stop on the trail and send me back, this was like sort of almost, not even pre-internet, but really early on, but he would still send me photos.
Was that before cell phones?
Before cell phones,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah. Well, what we thought we would do in the essence of time is take the top questions that have been asked of us, and we'll take turns covering those questions, and then we'll open it up to any questions that you might have. So the first question that we get a lot is the Appalachian Trail. How far is that, and did you do it all? And the Appalachian Trail is a national scenic trail, and it goes all the way from Georgia up to Maine through 14 different states. In 2022, it was, going back there for a minute. In 2022, the trail was 2,194.3 miles, and that's subject to change. That distance is subject to change each year because they're always working on the trail and they're always doing reroutes on it. But that was the distance that we did last year. And yes, we did do the entire trail. We did it as a through hike. In order for it to be deemed a through hike, you have to complete the entire trail in a 12 consecutive month period. So we set aside 6.5 months is what we blocked off to do the trail. We had done some research and learned that the average person hikes it between 6 and 7 months, and we considered that we were pretty average, so we thought that we felt pretty confident that we could do it in that amount of time. So I can just hit enter, okay. On March 13th, we began our hike. We started at Springer Mountain in Georgia, which is the beginning of the trail. If you're hiking northbound, and that's the direction that most people hike the trail from Georgia to Maine, otherwise southbound, Maine to Georgia, but we hike it northbound in the direction that most people hike it. We started out on March 13th, and All right. So here we go. All right, so we found that we were clicking off the miles at a pretty good pace. We were celebrating every 100 miles. They had markers on the trail. Here we are, 1,400 miles, all the way up to 2,100 miles. And on August 3rd, just 4.5 months after we started, we summited Mount Katahdin in Maine, and that was the end of the Appalachian Trail. And we were so thrilled with what we had done. And we didn't ever really feel, although that was way faster than we ever intended to do it, we never felt rushed. We never felt like we were in a race. And we scheduled in rest days. We took days where we did 0 miles. Those are called zeros. We took 12 zeros in the 143 days that we were out there. We took many neros, which are near zero days. And all in all, if you average in all of our neros and zero days, we averaged about 16 miles a day on the trail. So on the days that we were actually hiking, we were hiking most every day between 20 and 22 miles. Enter. These are tags. When we started the trip, they gave us hang tags to put on our backpacks, and this designates that we are northbound hikers. The first ones, northbound hikers number 1171 and 1172. When we finished our hike, we had to get another permit to hike up Katahdin, and we were northbound hikers number 221 and 222. So 950 people are the ones that we passed, or they dropped out, those through hikers. And through hikers, when they start, pretty much understand that there's about a 20% chance that they're gonna finish the through hike. For the same reason that your ex-husband, there's injuries, there's matters at home that need to be dealt with. Some people just aren't up to it, and there's a lot of things that can stop your trip. But we're pretty proud of our accomplishment. You can see on these hiker permits that they show our trail name, or registers our trail name, persistence and long runner. Almost all through hikers now go by trail names. We don't even know the given names of the hikers out there. We sign our name as long runner and persistence. That's just who we are now. Actually, we're now back home, and we still go by Joe and Linda, but we get mail still at home, cards and stuff to long runner and persistence. Okay.
A lot of people ask us, where did we stay? And most times we were in our tent, and we actually were the most comfortable in our tent. Even when we were in town and had a bed, it was more comfortable in the tent, because the tent was home. And so we would, a lot of times we would find a place along the way, or we'd be in designated areas that they have along the way. They have shelters with camping sites around it. We always liked our tent. We never used the shelter. The shelters typically slept from 8 people to 20 people, but some of the people like to use them because you don't have to bring a tent and things like that, or they are dry. But we just kind of liked our tent, and so we would either stay in these areas, but most of the time we stayed in a area along the trail. When we were done for the day, we found a spot and stayed there, and we followed the leave no trace principles and enjoyed what we were doing. But when we did need resupplies, or needed a shower, or needed to wash our clothes, we did step into, they had hostels along the way, or just little rooms that you could rent, and we would stay in these areas too. And then, like this house is this house is catered to just hikers. It's the quarter way in, and she's only open 3 months out of the year, and she just caters to hikers. But when we were in town, we did, sometimes there wouldn't be room at the inn, and so we would stay in our tent still, but you still got all the amenities. You got a shower, you got your food and resupplies, and we got our cleaner clothes.
Oh, okay, what did you eat? Before we left, we put together
6 months worth, 6 months I'm saying, now we've got lots left over. It's not a parting gift for you when you go home and get the dehydrated meal, but we put together 6 months worth of dehydrated dinners and breakfasts. We purchased the dehydrated and freeze-dried food, ingredients, put them together in recipes, taste tested them, tweaked them to our liking, and we ended up with 13 different dinner recipes that we ate on the trail. Everything went into these Ziploc bags. All we had to do is boil water, put it in the Ziploc bag, zip it up, set it aside for 10 to 15 minutes while we're setting up camp, and then we're ready to eat. Lunches, our favorite lunch was peanut butter and jelly on a tortilla, and we had this almost every day while we were out there. We never got tired of it, and we still eat peanut butter and jelly on a tortilla at home now. We did purify 100% of our water out there. We didn't want to risk getting any bacterial infections while we were out on the trail. So we said we'd make water. We would gather from a water source. Sometimes the water was very plentiful, but many times it was just a little stream. We had to use a little rhododendron leaf to get a little spigot of water that would go in our purifiers. We used 2 different systems. We started with one, ended with a different one, but it's basically just squeezing. You gather your water, squeeze it through a filter, put it in the vessel that you're going to drink out of, and you're good to go. We would go through, I'd say about 2.5 gallons of water a day between the 2 of us, cooking and drinking water, and getting our water, purifying our water each day was a very time-consuming task. One of our least favorite tasks to do. When we got into New York was one of our favorite places on the trail because almost every day we would cross a main road and you'd look down the road and there'd be a food truck. So getting hot dogs and real calories while we were out on the trail was very exciting to us. We loved New York. And of course, when we came in for resupplies, the first thing we do is we throw our laundry in the wash, and we would start taking in just as many calories as we could. Ice cream, bacon, anything we could eat, and we ate a lot. We
both lost about 20 pounds on the trail. So we had to consume. It was a nice time in our life. Eat what you want. Also, people ask, what did we carry? Well, we carried everything on our back was what we carried, and so we tried to keep it to a minimum because everything adds up, volume-wise and weight-wise. And the heaviest things that we carried was our food and the water. And so everything else we tried to really pare down. We didn't have spare this, spare that. So that was the items that we would carry with us, and it changed through the seasons too. We each carried a 58-liter backpack, and but we had to keep the weight down because we're climbing all the time. So, yes, sir.
What was your base weight?
Our base weight was probably around 22 pounds, but when we left fully supplied with water and our full food to get us the next 4 or 5, 6 days, we were usually about 30 to 33 pounds. So it was nice when we got out of the winter months and we got more room in our backpack and we got rid of all the extra clothes that we had, because we had lots of layers to keep warm. The coldest we had was 14 degrees when we were up in the Smoky Mountains, but that was just at night. During the daytime, at the coldest, it was usually in the 30s, and so you're working away, and so you're sweating pretty good. You can see the difference here. We lost 4 pounds when we went from the winter to our summer gear. These are our sleeping bags all scrunched up. The one on the right is our winter bag, and the one on the left is our summer bag. And so between the weight and the volume of all the stuff that we got rid of, it really made it nice for hiking.
Has anybody here read the book or seen the movie A Walk in the Woods? It's about the Appalachian Trail. That's okay, because it's a very, very deceiving title. We would give that probably a 10 on the Pinocchio meter. It was never a walk in the woods. This is the Appalachian Trail that we thought we signed up for, and this was reality. It was climbing up and over, straight up, straight down mountains, rocks, finding foot placement, sometimes all day long, every day we were working our way up rocks. When it wasn't the rocks, it was the roots. Sometimes the rocks were real slippery and you had just a tiny foothold to get on to go up and to climb over. We had to cross streams and rivers, some of them quite deep. This is a shallow one here. The entire time we were following these white blazes, and the white blazes would point the direction, or they'd show us that we were on trail. So we began to see white blazes in our sleep sometimes, because it was important that we stay on trail. They'd paint them on the rocks, put them on the trees. If they were concerned that the rocks were going to be covered in snow and there were no trees, they would build these rock cairns, and there's just stacks of rocks that we followed on our way up and over. All in all, we hiked up and over more than 300 mountains. I'm just going to show you some pictures of the mountains here. Many times as we were going up and over these mountains, we never got these epic views that you're seeing here. We were in the woods. We were in what they call a green tunnel a lot of the time. So you'd get to the top and you'd see the same trees you'd been in all the way up and all the way back down. But every now and then we'd break out into these epic views. Now, when it was really hot out, we were happy to get back into the green tunnel again for some shade.
How was the weather? Well, now we say it was very good, but for the overall year, it was a good year to be on the trail. They didn't get a lot of rain this past year, and so it was very seasonable. We ran into snow once in a while, but not very often. And so at the beginning, it was a little cold, and at night, like I said, it got down to 14 was the coldest, but so it frees a few things that you're being around, so your water for the next morning to
That's his Nalgene bottle full of water for the next morning.
To get started, we needed water to get started in the morning. We had breakfast and usually drink a liter of water in the morning. But we made it work. We did run into some snow, but we only had probably 3-4 days where we had to work with snow. It's surprising down south, up in the mountains, it can surprise you, but it's much more temperate than we thought it would be. So pretty nice. We had one morning where we did wake up with 4 inches of snow. This was the beginning of it. And the next morning when we woke up, we had 4 inches of snow that night. So it was kind of tough to see the trail the next morning, but it eventually melts and you walk in mud. And we typically did not, get away from the weather. We continued on and worked through it because you're always pretty warm. We had some hailstorms and stuff like that where we had everything we had on, and we were wondering, boy, if we get wet, we're going to be really cold. But we stayed dry and we kept working, and we were warm and never had that hypothermia fear.
And all good things have to come to an end eventually. We kind of made our own little world out on the trail where we were away from TVs, we were away from everything, and living in our perfect little world. But in the end, day 143, the night before, we had stayed in a shelter for our very first time. We got up early in the morning. We had all sorts of things, of emotions going. We've been working for this day, and our last couple of weeks, we just wanted to get this done over with. We just wanted to get to Katahdin and hike up that last day. So we were excited, but we were also very sad about it. But it turned out to be just a beautiful day that day. We had a 5-mile climb up. The sky was clear. We were not in the green tunnel. We were very exposed out there. We had some epic views, and we got to the top with some of our trail family, or tramily. That's YOLO at the top, Hummingbird and Boots Boots. YOLO had been with us for probably the last half of our trip. We kind of hooked up with them, camped with them, and did a lot of extra activities with them. The other couple we were with a lot, so we got to spend some time at the top of Katahdin. Of course, the trail ends at the very top of the mountain. There are no roads, so you have to hike back down the same way you came, those 5 miles. Made it back down to the bottom with our good friend YOLO. YOLO is the only lived once. That was his trail name. And we were so very happy that we got to do this trip together. It just meant the world to us to be with our very best friend and be able to share that experience. So many of our friends, our trail family were there all by themselves, and they'd be in their tent at like home when we get signal, and talking to their wives, and we just look at each other and go, wow, you know, we've got each other, and we shared this whole adventure together, so it's so special. And at the very end, our best friends came all the way from here to Maine. They drove out to pick us up. This is the couple that was sending us our resupplies. They were our lifeline through the entire trip. They, about every 5 days, we would pick up a new package from them that had all of our food from home. It would have new shoes. It would have everything that we needed. And then we just couldn't wait to get back down the mountain because we knew that this would be the first time that we saw them. And in 4.5 months, when they were going to take us home. We have so many other people that gave us support on the trail, and we're so thankful for all of them. We could not have done it without them. So we thank them, and we also thank you for letting us tell our story. Do we have time for any questions, or did we run long? I didn't time that.
Yeah, this time for 2 questions, how people have been.
I know you did a lot of planning for this, but what was your biggest surprise? What weren't you prepared for, I guess, or what?
I think for me, it was that it was way more technical than we ever thought it would be. Each day was such a challenge. That was what made it difficult, but that was also made it such an epic trip, the greatest thing that we've ever done in our lifetime. It was very strenuous, times that we really needed to have helmets on. I mean, we were doing a lot of rock climbing, and that was a surprise to both of us, and many other people out on the trail also. They'd say, this is not what I signed up for.
And we didn't see a lot of wildlife. We were surprised at that.
Yeah.
We saw 2 bear in the whole trip, and they were off in a distance.
No moose.
And we didn't see, we wanted to see moose, just not to engage with them, but to see them at a distance.
Every snake you could ever think
Yeah,
of was
we
out
saw-
there.
Oh, really?
140 some snakes, but they were the
Some
big
deer.
black rat snakes, but that was our
That was a
biggest
surprise to
wildlife.
us. We thought we were gonna see all sorts of
Yeah.
wildlife.
Lots of crows, ravens, that type of thing, but, you know.
When you were out, would you run into, I mean, you kind of hooked up with these other couples with the people going the opposite direction, or?
Once
what
in
you
a
got
while.
Once in a
started
while,
with-
there were sobos, there were some southbounds
But
coming in.
typically during the day, these people that we met along the way, we would typically just kind of meet up somewhere, like it was in town or something. That's where we would see them the most.
And hostels.
But hiking during the day was just the 2 of us, and we might see somebody coming against the grain or somebody passes, but not very often. Most times would be on weekends, and you're near something that's quite attractive. You'd see people coming out for a day hike, and you
And
could
that's
get
where
a
the
little-
trail got really nice too. When you were near places where day hikers came out, they did all the trail improvements there, and that's where.
Good trail maintenance.
Yeah, that's where we got these really nice trails. And then as soon as we were past where a day hiker would go, it went back to
Being rough.
rocks and.
You had a question, sir?
How many pairs of shoes did you go through?
That's a good question, because we use trail hike, or
Trail runners?
trail runners.
Yeah.
And that's just running shoes that are meant, they got good lugs on the bottom. And we went with those which most people wear out there, and mainly because they dry out easily.
And they're
You
like-
get a leather boot wet, and it takes forever to get it dry, or if you got Gore-Tex line. I started out with some Gore-Tex line mid-top running shoes, but once we got out of the cooler months and we got into rain would get into the shoes, whereas the snow never got into the shoes, and
So I did 5 pairs.
Yeah.
You did 4 pairs.
Yeah,
about every 500 miles.
yeah.
Yeah. But the rocks in Pennsylvania, there's
Just.
northern Pennsylvania
Yeah.
has a lot of rocks. It's not a very technical or steep up and downs, but a lot of rocks. So it's for your shoes.
What about pre-planning? I mean, how long have you been thinking about this trip and then actually sit down and put it together and you're pre-planning to get everything squared away?
Yeah, we spent a lot of time pre-planning. Unfortunately, we were pre-planning for the wrong trail. We were pre-planning for the Pacific Crest Trail, which we had permits to hike in 2020. So all of our research and all of our studying and planning went towards hiking the Pacific Crest Trail. So when that didn't happen for a number of reasons. I got cancer, and then COVID shut things down and then everything was on fire out there. So we ended up ditching that plan. It wasn't too much to switch it. And then with all the fires out there, the trails were, a lot of rerouting and everything. So we just decided to do the Appalachian Trail instead. So we had to change our thought process and start planning again. We planned for that one, Appalachian, about 6 months.
And it's really well laid out. They've got a guidebook that goes mile by mile with you, and we just would follow the pages, but also there's an app on your phone now, and it's called Far Out, and it follows you too.
It tells you where all the water sources are with pictures. It tells you where there's good places to camp. It tells you where the next town is.
So it's much different than when you're ex-husband.
Yeah, way different. And we could tell almost,
it's really laid out.
If we said, wow, we haven't seen a white blaze for a long time, we'd get the app out and we go, uh-oh, we're off trail. Because it's following you. We're a little arrow there and it's following us. So.
We go off trail,
We did from time to time.
Right, about 10, 12 times, but
We
not
didn't
very
go far.
because something wouldn't look right. It's like, I haven't seen a white blaze in a while. So you get to talk, or sometimes the trail would go this way and another trail would go that way. And sometimes it was just, the white blaze was always us, but there was blue blazes for sources of water or a campsite.
Or a side route.
And sometimes they would go straight and you end up at a campsite. How did we get here?
Other than your rock climbing, did you ever feel nervous or unsafe, I guess?
No.
It,
I never, like camping, I thought it was, we could always find a flat spot to sleep, so I felt good there. And critters, I thought there would be more like mini bears, raccoons or mice, things like that. We only had one encounter with mice. And like we said, the bears, they were minimal.
But
people are picking up after
People
themselves.
were
so
good
there's no-
people. We were concerned that maybe there'd be unlikable people.
Yeah,
But,
that's kind of where I was
Yeah,
going.
yeah, there
There
were
were
no
good
undesirables. They were
Because
all
before
good.
we left, we thought carrying a gun.
We don't own a gun.
But
So-
we thought about, taking the classes, carrying a gun, because licenses are reciprocal in other states and stuff, but nobody on the trail carried a gun.
They all
What
told us
about
it
a
wasn't
bear
good.
spray or anything?
No
Some
bears.
people carry
Some-
bear spray,
Yeah,
but not
that's
very
heavy.
many.
That's pretty heavy.
Is it?
carry.
Okay.
Yeah, and you get one shot typically at bear spray. So then you better be
Well,
faster than
It's
the other
good for
ones.
your undesirables too, I mean.
Yeah, I suppose so.
But, no, everybody was on vacation, the nicest people we did find after the fact. There was a couple that we were hiking with that became very good friends with. They were,
On the lam.
they were on the land. They were wanted by the federal marshals.
Picking the wildflowers or something?
Well, they were growing the wildflowers.
So what's next?
Excellent trip.
We're going to New Zealand at the end of this month for 5 weeks. This will be a little more casual.
Gentle.
Will be, we've rented a motorhome with another couple, and we've rented a motorhome, and we're just gonna tour around in the backcountry.
North Shore or North Island or something?
Going
Both, yeah. Yeah, we'll take the ferry across and do
I
both.
was there about 6, 7 years ago.
Is that right?
Tour.
We will be fun. We plan to get in the backcountry, do some hiking, fun. Thank you for your
Well,
time.
thank you.
Thanks so much for being here tonight. Is anybody inspired now? I'm gonna go hike the Appalachian Trail.
I'm gonna follow Sid.
We'll go with you.
We enjoyed it vicariously.
Thank you.
We have
Thank you.
a gift for you guys. I know what's in here, so,
So don't shake it real hard.
yeah. I just wanted to make it about the fun.
Awesome. Great.
Thank you
Thanks
for
for
being here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, now we have to get to the no dry stuff. We'll start off with the secretary's report.
Okay, on the back of your agenda, you'll find the minutes from our last meeting, which was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was 2 months ago.
2 months ago.
Anybody have any questions about the minutes? Challenges, corrections?
Okay, I have another thing that we'll pass around. It's a thanks from the Leo Club for our support. We did this primarily at the Christmas party. I'm just gonna pass this around so you can take a look at it. Somebody can grab it. Here.
And then, well, that's going around, I'll also pass around a thank you from Sheriff Riegelsworth for supporting their Shop with a Cop adventure.
And we did, with the Leo Club, we also did the Simply Give thing with Meyer. So that's a little thing we sent out to the district, telling them what our two clubs did together. And just want to let people know that we do have a couple speakers already booked for future meetings. Next time we meet, we'll have Gary Kinzer who's a new superintendent of the Mesa Public Schools. And then a month from that, we'll have our district governor. But we've already got 4 different people who are lined up possibly to speak, so.
Okay.
If you know any others, let us know.
Okay, treasurer's report, Rich.
Treasurer's report, administrative account has got $10,649.59. Gaming has got $9,166.92. Donations has got $4,311.56. And since we're having a board meeting, it's going to touch this subject. The savings account has got $10,024.56.
Okay. Leo report.
I went to the Leo's meeting on Friday. They started up again. There were about 10 kids that were there, and they were talking about what they're going to be doing next, and decided they needed to raise some money so that they had some money in their treasury. And Mrs. McCrice mentioned that they have 2 cases, of mints that has been a holdover from when Mrs. Hicks was there, and so they're gonna sell mints. And the way they're gonna do it is by having mintograms, like we do for Valentine's Day, but this is just to sell the mints. And they're gonna work on, what they're gonna be doing this week is to work on jingles and posters and announcements so that they can sell all their mints.
Okay,
They've already paid for the mints, so free profit.
And Cindy's got a calendar here with, that you can sign up to attend a Leo session.
And yes, Dave.
No, are you done with your Leos?
Yes, because I got enough for January and
I
February.
just wanted to go back to the treasurer to find out what we did on Texas
We got a
Hold'em.
poker line item here.
When are you gonna do it?
When we hit that line item for the
Coming up next.
poker room and upcoming sign-ups.
Okay, because,
So-
okay,
Coming up,
okay,
in my hand.
simple,
Okay, and if Cindy's done with the
I'm
Leo
done.
report, we're ready for the poker report.
see?
Okay, Rich will tell us about what we did in December, and we do have a sign-up sheet back here for March, so let you know that's coming up.
All right. We made a little over $3,000 this time around. Down a little bit from July. $3,022.05. Curiously enough, the gross was down $1,200, so we were only down $400 in profit because for whatever reason, the room charged us $1,000 in July, but only $500 in December, which is the same thing that $500 is what they charged us in a year ago, December, and in March. So I don't know where that $1,000 bill came from, but it's paid. All bills are paid. So we're making good money. It's definitely worth our while.
And do you want to touch on the MSU money?
That's why we've got so much money in, I'd have to, oh, hang on.
I've got it.
No, here, right here,
Okay.
right here. Okay, so that was in the administrative account. Where's my deposit? Over here, yes. So, from yeah. We made, well, the check that Dave got was $6,900, $6,945, of which I wrote a check to the Knights of Columbus for $3,245, which was what their amount was. So we made $3,740 into our account. And up to this point, we've been putting that into our administrative accounts because we're not representing ourselves as Lions, and people are not putting, the public's not putting money in as Lions.
One other thing, I wanna thank everybody that worked, especially that last game, because it was cold and miserable. One other thing, Deb worked, Ruth worked, and Marcy worked a couple of games, and those three netted us $825.
Oh, wow.
We thank them.
Yeah, just to let you know.
Family members are also welcome to do the poker run. I'd like to-
Yeah.
Okay. Looks like somebody's thinking ahead already to the next Christmas party.
I just wanted to mention that there was kind of a side decision made after the Christmas party, and we had loads of macaroni and cheese. So
Yeah,
I think this decision was to have two meat entrees instead of macaroni and cheese.
Okay, well, we'll worry about that
But,
next,
but I
next
thought
October,
I'd
so.
mention it so it'd get into the minutes.
Oh, got it, okay. Sweepstakes tickets, how do we stand on those?
We still need about 3/4 of the club to sign up for their sweepstakes tickets. They're back here. You can either buy them, or you can go ahead and take some to sell. Last year we did so well, we want to do well again this year. So you'll be hearing about it every time we meet.
Okay. Hey, we got a request today through the Lions website, looking for help with glasses. One of the counselors in high school. Who takes care of that when Melinda's not here? Does anybody know?
Well, I forwarded the note to Melinda and you.
Oh, okay, so Melinda hopefully will get back to us and she can let us know.
Yeah, and Rich got it too. So.
Okay,
I saw on the header on that it goes to all the officers.
oh,
Yes.
okay,
So I sent it to Melinda, but
okay. Yeah, I think Jenny helps out, but I couldn't say it, and
Yeah.
she's pretty well distracted right now.
So
So,
we need a backup since Melinda's traveling a lot.
yeah, and I think Jenny normally would do that because she's at the district level, a backup for Mike Golden. But, she's got other things to worry about right now, so think about it, if it's something that you'd like to volunteer, it's a matter of getting forms to people, they have to provide, documentation about income and things like that, and then we work through the Lions of Michigan Foundation to get classes for them. I guess that's how it works. Anyway, no, we don't either. They help us out if we need money. Anyway, so we work with the local optometrists. Okay,
Lisa and I care.
so think about whether that's something that you might like to help out with. Okay, this fairgrounds announcement thing, I've seen little references to it on Facebook. They're evidently gonna have a big announcement coming up on February 18th, I think it is, at the fairgrounds office. That has to do with the grandstand. The foundation had raised $50,000. They applied for a grant, which apparently they got money for, so it looks like maybe, I'm guessing here, you have to go to the event to find out for sure, but it looks like maybe they got money to go ahead and build a grandstand. Something that people have been waiting for a long time. I'm looking to see the details here, and I don't. The event isn't a wide open event where you can just show up. You do have to have advance clearance. If it's something that you're interested in attending, then you need to contact Lindsay McKeever, and I can give you that email address if you're interested. Let me know afterwards if you decide you'd like to.
when is it?
It's January 18th at 4 o'clock at the Fairgrounds office. And it's actually a press conference. Okay, let's see.
You said February 1st.
January, it's
It is
January, I'm sorry,
January,
yeah,
okay.
January. Okay, Lions Forum sign up handout, yeah, the Michigan Forum, this thing here, Doug is gonna be a speaker, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna do a really good job, because he's gonna talk about public relations, and who knows more about public relations than Doug. So he's gonna be doing that, and there's a lot of other really good sessions too. I'm on the committee again this year, not chairperson anymore, but, of course, I always have supported the forum. It's always a good time, lots of good sessions, good keynote speakers, and you get to meet people from all over the state or catch up with people that you haven't seen for a while. So if you haven't been to one before, this would be a good one to start out at. It's in Grand Rapids on February 25th is the main event. There's a service event the night before if that interests you too. Okay, participation in the MACC Business Expo in Spring Fling. Doug,
We
take it away.
received an email from the Chamber of Commerce wanting to know what our intentions were. They have an event coming up called the Business Expo. It used to be called the Business to Business Expo. I don't think we've ever done it
Yeah,
in
we
my,
did.
my memory.
Oh, no, yeah,
No, I
we
don't.
showed up to help, that's what it was.
Was it?
Yeah, we
Oh,
didn't have a
okay.
booth, but yeah, we showed up to help.
But at any rate, they're having that on February 16th at the high school. You're all invited to go. It's going to start at 4 o'clock in the afternoon and go until 7 in the evening. My recommendation is that we not have a booth, but that we try to show up, kind of deal. But if you really want to, it's $50. But they need to know right away. I already signed up for the Historical Society because they need some extra help this year because they're gonna do the 25th anniversary of the museum opening this year, so I'll be there anyway, but just to let you know if you'd like to do that. Spring Fling is on the 6th of May. We normally do that. Question now is, do we want one booth or two? Because one booth is 50, two booths is 100. I'm not sure what we put in the budget, but probably the 100, but I'm not sure.
There are some people that are hoping that we do have a second tent, Tracy Tribble for one, so she
Okay.
can advertise or promote Barrett Camp.
Okay, so you want the double booth?
Well, we could take a vote,
Okay, let's
rather
do
than
that.
me dictating.
I'll
Last
move-
time I talked to Tracy Temple, he indicated he'd probably pick up cost of one of those,
Okay,
so that's, I
That's
mean, if we
possible.
signed up, maybe we'll get reimbursed for it.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds
Okay.
good. Okay,
Let's-
I'll move that we go ahead and do the double booth
okay,
for Spring Fling.
got a motion?
Second?
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried.
Okay, I'll take care of that
Send me
tomorrow.
the bill.
Okay, the cabinet meeting is gonna be January 28th at the VFW Hall in Perry, 9 o'clock. It's a breakfast meeting, and that's usually a good time, and good food. Celebration of service that we used to call the district convention is gonna be March 10th and 11th. That'll be at the Comstock Inn in Owasso. Okay, any other announcements or reminders? Okay, we're already,
You're on. Who's on? You are. No, move it.
we're already at the point where we are gonna do 50-50 and the Joker draw.
50/50 is $12.
Whoa, wow.
Get somebody to draw on.
Just pick a number.
Pick a number. Come on, son, you've done this before.
Not that hard.
I got 2. Pick mine then.
Hey, I got two, put one back.
Probably mine put back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not mine. Last 4 numbers. 8086.
Oh,
You don't hide all that, I took the other number.
donate that back to the club, please. Okay, Joker draw.
There's another call for you.
Alrighty, so the Joker draw is up to $50 today. Given that I got, was it 45 and we got 10 in. So, who's still, okay, perfect.
You gotta make
You gotta draw something.
Yeah, so you gotta draw a ticket, don't you? I haven't done this in a while. That's what I need to have you guys do is draw a ticket.
I know the feeling all too well.
So the Joker draw has got some upsides and downsides. The upsides, you win some money. The downsides, you get the job. And the number is ends in 610.
That's me.
That'd be you?
610.
All right. That's perfect.
Okay.
So. What do we get? Two diamonds. So,
I'm not picked.
wasn't in the first set. Mark Ace. There it was. Which way? Yep. Two goes out. And it goes around again.
Alrighty, anybody have any last minute thoughts, things they're gonna remember they wanna cover? We do have a quick board meeting tonight, so stick around if you're a board member, and, what?
I do have one thing.
Okay,
The eyeglasses, when do they have to be, there's a date, do you know what date is that they need to be turned in?
March, I don't know the date.
You're asking for the
Yeah.
I've got one.
Actually, I still read the box at home, so,
Okay, yeah, I think we have a project for Leo.
there you go.
Well, 2 shifts on Monday.
Okay, again, we have a board meeting, so other than that, let's go ahead. Bill's over there, pretend I hit the bell. We're adjourned.
So so what do you have to do, Dave? You gotta open this up and find out what numbers you got?
What's that?
There's no here they got numbers, this one doesn't. We'll take that one then. I didn't see it till then. But the other one don't have numbers.
I don't know. He's in charge of it.
All the checks I've written so far, I've gotten correct.
Keep all the records. Usually, one person does
But they,
some money.
two of them go together, or you just get one?
How many you want to do, 5 or 10?
How much are they?
$10 a piece. I got packs of 5 and packs of, packs of 5 and packs of 10.
This one doesn't have any numbers on it. Right?
Well, don't take that one then.
This one don't either.
Don't take that one either.
Okay, that's where I got.
That's very strange. Yeah, I don't know why that is. Yeah, that's a 5, that's a 10.
So if you're gonna fill them out ourselves, then you just do it and you'll be done.
Yeah,
with it.
if you know which one it is. Eh?
6.
I'm on the board.
Okay, yes. Alrighty, Rich, we need here.
Enjoyed your talk.
Thank you.
But one thing really caught my attention.
Yes.
The last time Karen and I backpacked was 40 years ago or something.
Okay, the first item is that we got our annual request for the district convention for raffle prices. Okay, motion to do it? Second? All in favor? Okay, any opposed? 25.
This one's four pounds, and it's
District
actually
11,
bigger. So everything.
In the internal frame.
Okay, we
For all the schools
looked
that
at
all we had to
records,
do,
well,
it's nice to have
Richard
the internal
said
frame.
that.
Cause I was used to an external frame. I really like my external frame. It stood up really well and
She's
everything.
transferred into the Mason Club, but apparently she's not been
Oh,
there
no,
for 2
you
years.
look
So,
Yeah,
the
all of
suggestion
it,
came up,
you know,
maybe she
every
should
2 years.
drop, be dropped, because when I did contact
In our
her,
tent.
probably a year ago, or last fall, or something, she did not respond.
Wow.
So,
From one of those kits that you could
I'm
find.
going to offer an
And you just
understanding
see
that,
what
she's
seal all the.
Oh, yeah.
Did you go with Mount Hood?
We've got a motion,
Yeah.
second, any, all in favor?
No, Mount Hood would be out
Any
more.
opposed?
than-
Okay.
What's the one?
Oh, you
I
did?
went Mount Washington.
Mount Washington.
Mount
That's
Washington, yeah,
One of the
the
pictures in there
presidential,
was
yeah.
one of the pictures in there was
Okay.
really close to it, on our way down
Okay.
from there.
So to follow up
I
with
took
that,
the incline.
that was the only.
Oh, you took the incline up and, okay,
It's a whole lot easier to hike.
yeah, we
That's
hiked
a long way
it.
down.
Yeah, that was a long way.
It was beautiful up
We
there.
did all the
Everything was-
presidentials.
Or
and
just
we
leave
did
that
that
for
too.
that.
They told me when I was up there, they haven't got very many of those kind of days.
No,
No,
that's-
no,
The
that's what we
sunshine and no
heard.
wind.
yeah.
We've got some
Yeah,
around.
we ended
They
up,
told us.
and that Mount Washington, they
A
had
little
more
bit higher
ducks.
right now. Should.
than,
2 weeks before we were there.
Years
Should've
ago,
Rich,
the
take it away.
ducks
Alright,
were
so
like
we're
a
making
hundred
about
dollars.
1%
around.
a year.
Got really cold.
The weather there is treacherous.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right now, Dark Bay is offering a
Yeah,
13
we went
month
through all the
CD
presidentials in one day.
at
So it's all the open areas, so
4.65%.
it's pretty nice to do in one day.
My
It was a late
recommendation
day.
is that we put $5,000 in that and keep the remainder in the
Yeah, I was
savings
out there
account. So that that's
on a
much
bus
more
trip
easily
one time.
accessible
I was part of it
for
going
me.
up.
Now,
Yeah,
the first
big,
money
big
we've
up
actually
top.
spent out of that is the
You
money
like New
that
Zealand?
we gave to Stan and Jenny.
Didn't stay there long
So-
enough.
It's still
That's what we're
sitting
hoping
there,
to
and at
find.
some
We're
point,
on the
we
bus
might
too
be
long.
club needs to
Yeah.
figure out what we're gonna do.
We're hoping in 5 weeks we'll
Um,
get to see quite a bit.
But that's not what
We
we're
took
talking about right now.
A tour to
So,
Australia and New Zealand.
My
It was a trip.
recommendation,
Oh.
and
Is
I
this a
would-
recommendation
It
or
should have been a
motion?
I'm gonna make this as a
We did
motion,
2
Okay.
weeks in Australia,
that
about 20 years ago.
purchase a $5,000
Like I said, it should have been
13-month CD.
a month in
from
Australia and a
Dark
month
Bay,
in New Zealand.
using money from the
It's nice that
savings
they
account.
kind of speak English.
Sounds good. I'll second
Well,
that. Yeah, right.
Any other
we were
discussion?
talking with our guide,
All in favor?
Probably.
and he started throwing Australian slang at us. You need an
Anybody
interpreter.
else have anything
Yeah,
they wanna cover?
something else.
They think we talk weird.
Go ahead.
I saw him today, I saw him
But,
Monday, I
you
saw
know,
him last
you're
Friday.
a college kid, you
He was in
Full
the
of it.
hospital with the infections
Lot of
and
fun.
pneumonia. Things look like they're starting to clear out, cause Monday,
thanks,
had a
guys.
line in his neck, plus in his arm, they took that one out Tuesday.
Have a good night.
I think he's on, and I think that he's gonna be kicked out of the hospital. Deb thinks within a couple days, and I'm giving him a week, but we have no idea where he's gonna go. If he's gonna go, Jenny said he wasn't going back to the place he was at, so,
He has to back to assisted living.
yeah, oh, definitely, yeah, he can't go home, no. So I don't know where he's gonna end up, or when it's gonna happen, but,
Well, you can see.
yeah, I'm depressed.
In the meantime, we pretty much, between the three of us, Karen, myself, and Rich, are taking over all the Pulver stuff.
Yeah.
So we just went ahead and made our, got it all set up for March. I'm doing a webinar tomorrow.
What's that?
with the lottery people, to see if I need to know more about something. So
Okay.
I'm gonna go through that at 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
So I'll let people know that.
Yeah, Stan is depressed,
Yeah.
which is understandable, and he doesn't get his facts real straight sometimes, he's still in confusion or whatever, so. So if you really wanna find out anything, you call Jenny, you don't call Stan.
Oh, okay, yeah, I did talk to her the other day, he still has a,
Yeah, but it's all now.
okay, well, that's good. Okay,
We
anything,
adjourn the board meeting then.
we're done, yeah, unless anybody else
Want me
has
to
something,
call?
can't
Huh?
possibly
Want me
wait.
to call her and tell her you're coming over?
Yeah, that way, well, like, yeah, well,
Okay,
if there's a way.
okay, we're done, yeah, we're done.
Probably already ate dinner today, but you eat it tomorrow.
Go home and see if Jamie's still out of bed yet.
You're all retired now.
Oh, here's.
Yeah, just about. I might find something to do if somebody has something that's going on, but,
Something to feel doing.
yeah.
Oh, can you give that to Rich?
They,
I don't know. Do you have money, honey?
you gotta find something, they, maybe treasurer at the church, oh man, I guess that's a job and a half.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for the thank you.
I guess, we just started that one.
The church treasurer's job?
But it's not, that's not paid yet.
Yeah. There's a lot of
He
those
says, well, we'll
jobs
double the last guy's salary. I said, oh, that's good. You got 0. Oh, that's
See
good
y'all.
too.
What'd I do?
No, he's bragging about his, he got double what the last guy made.
They just made me church treasurer right down at the church.
Oh,
And I got double the salary the last guy got.
oh, yeah,
Double nothing.
Double nothing, how's that?
that's good, that's usually what happens.
Take care now.
That's all right. Gives me something to do.
Our presentation.
Oh, yes.
Thought I would reward them.
They just forgot them because they got down here, then they went to the back.
Okay.
I can take them over to them.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
That's all you need, those stuff.
I need those stuff, yeah.
I'm gonna take packet 2, but I don't have any in my checkbook tonight.
Okay, well, I'll have them next time.
Okay. I'll check. Where's my checkbook?
Ball home time to eat.
No, I'm gonna take this over to Jenny and Becky. Drop this off and wait until one of us do and cook it tomorrow probably.
You roll.
Yeah, I took it.